And I want to tell you a little bit about the journey that Cammie and I have been on. And, it was 11 years ago that we really sensed that God called us here, that God called our family to start a new church right here. And we picked up and moved here without knowing any of you. And amazingly, God gave us a family. This is an incredible church family. And I know a lot of you are online, and I don't get to see you right now, but I see all of you, even through the computer, because you've become our family. So over these 11 years, we've had an incredible joy and privilege of getting to be part of this church. And each one of you have rolled up your sleeves and done this with us along the way. I think about when we first started and how everybody had a job, and I thought, man, the time will come, we'll build a building when everybody doesn't have to do a job. That never happened. Everybody still gets a job. That's just how it goes. This is just the kind of church that we are. It's kind of church family that we are. And the reason we came here to do this was we felt like God called us. That's it. And it's just been an incredible joy. And now we're at this place where Cammie and I have sensed a new call for our lives. And that means a new call for Live Oak. And so we've accepted a call to a new church. And God has a new journey for us and for our family. And then we'll be headed out. We don't have an exact timeline. We're here. We're here for a while. There'll be plenty of time to talk and say goodbye. There'll be time to think about what's next steps for Live Oak and things like that. But today, I just want to let you know what's going on. That God has called us to a new journey, and we're excited about that. But man, it doesn't feel exciting this morning. Right? Because you are friends. And because you are my family. Right? This is the family that I love. This is a place that we have invested years into. My kids don't know anywhere else. They don't remember anywhere else. They don't have any other friends. They don't even know how to make friends. So they just only have the friends that they've always had, that kind of stuff. So we're all kind of not sure what this looks like. And we're a little nervous about it. We're headed to Cammie's hometown, and so that's a really neat thing. But more importantly than any of that, we really sense God's call for us in this. And for our church here, we have a sense that this is God's church. And that it really is. That the story of Live Oak isn't just our story, it's God's story. It reminded me of this passage, 1 Corinthians. We talked about this actually not that many, couple months ago. We walked through Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. There was a transition going on in leadership in the church in Corinth. There were some issues, and Paul was writing to them, and there had been Apollos. He's one of the leaders, and Paul was another. This is 1 Corinthians 3:5. It says this: "What after all is Apollos, and what is Paul? Only servants through whom you came to believe, as the Lord has assigned to each his task. I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but God has been making it grow. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God. Only God makes things grow. This is God's church, and God is at work here. One of the hardest decisions we've ever have to make in our whole life is this one, because we know God's presence here. because we know God's love through each one of you, because we know the incredible potential and the ministry that you have in front of you. Things are actually, even with COVID, things are going so well here. God is working here and starting to use this church to reach the community around. Our youth group is just booming. We have great children's ministry. We gather for worship and we connect with the community around us. Man, things are going well and God is at work. And this church has great leaders, great potential that God has brought. No matter what kind of part of this journey you're on, whether you're back from the movie theater days, or a few of you that go back that far, or you've just been here a few weeks, God's called you here. God's got a purpose for you here, and God's got an incredible future for this church. There's this one moment that marked our church, and I'll just want to leave you with this morning. It was a few years into this church starting. Cam and I were working hard. We knew no one here, and so we were just meeting people in the playground and saying, hey, you want to help start a church? You know, we don't know you. We're not weirdos. Why don't you maybe drive the truck, and you can help us, get things set up. And it was rough. It was rough going. And a group of leaders came over to our house one day and sat in our kitchen. And this was the talk that I had to give to them. I said, look, guys, Kami and I feel like we've been carrying this ball, and we're working so hard, and we're like, it's going, but it's rough going, and we are starting to just feel the weight of this. And so we said, what we've got to do is lay down the ball, and you, as the leaders of this church, have to pick it up. And I will never forget that moment. It was like watching the Holy Spirit work as the group of leaders around that table started to say, yeah, we can do this. We can do this as a community of people. And that has marked our church, and that's going to mark your next phase of a church. And I'm one piece of this story. Kami and I are just one piece. But this is God's story. And I'm going to leave you with that this morning.